Good morning. What is going on, everybody? It is Monday. Welcome to another edition of the Fresh Take Podcast. It is your guy, Philip Edgeman, and I'm here to take a fresh look at leadership. Yes, I said it. I'm here to take a fresh look at leadership. Why am I here to take a fresh look at leadership? I'm glad you asked. I want to take a fresh look at leadership because honestly, y'all, leadership has gotten stale. It's gotten boring, and we are doing the same old. And I was just brought up with the idea that if you do the same thing expecting a different result, you're never going to get it right. So that's why we have the Fresh Take podcast, and we are taking a fresh look at leadership. I'm going to do my best to come to you every single Monday. Not long, but I want to give you something just to make you think a little bit, especially those of you who are leaders in any capacity. And let me just go ahead and say this. Whether you have the title of leadership or not does not make you a leader, and or does it take away the leadership ability from you. Listen, all of us are leaders in some capacity, whether that's in your home, whether that's with your friends, whether that's with your family, whether that's in your business or your school. You're a leader, and I want to talk with you about that today. So I posed the question, and I want to throw it back out there to you on today. I asked the question, I said, how can you get the most out of your team? How can you get the most out of your team? And I really want you to think about that for a second. Listen, there are many of us right now who have teams that we're working with. And the question is always, how can we maximize this team? How can we get the best out of this team? And listen, I got something for you today. I got something. And the interesting thing is it's probably been right underneath your nose the entire time. The way that you get the most out of your team is not necessarily by giving them more money or giving them another raise. Contrary to popular belief, I know there are some of us out there and they're like, oh my gosh, we need more money. Give them more money. The interesting thing is when we give people more money, as soon as the month catches up with the money, guess what they're asking for? More money. Yeah. Now, I want you to even think about this. Let's even take it a step deeper. If money was the motivator for the people that you are working with right now, do you really not think they couldn't find a place that pays them more money? They could. They can find a place that pays them more money. And let me just keep it real. You can find you a place right now that pays you more and compensates you more than what you're being paid and or compensated. But you stay. But you're there. But you haven't left. My question for you is, why? See, if it was all about money, then we would be gone, bolting to the next opportunity that's going to pay us the most or maximize our resources and dollar amount. But I want to tell you today, it's not about money. People don't stay in places because of the money. So if they're not staying for the money, why are they staying? People stay in places where they feel valued and they can add value. Let me say it again. People stay in places where they feel valued and they can add value. This term is, there's a real term for it. It's actually called mattering. That's the term that we use for this concept. It's called mattering. And a gentleman, his name is Morris Rosenberg, actually came up with this concept around 1965 when he was actually doing work on self-esteem. He is the guy that we credit for coming up with the concept of self-esteem. Yes, Morris Rosenberg, somewhere around 1965, he started looking at self-esteem, and mattering was a component of that. Again, what is mattering? Mattering is when you feel valued and you can add value. Well, Philip, what does that have to do with leadership? What does it have to do with me being a leader? Well, it has everything to do with you being a leader. It has everything to do, because here's the thing. The people that you're working with, they simply want to matter. They simply want to know that the job that they're doing, the work that they're doing, the stuff that they're doing, that it matters. That's what people really want. It's not about money. It's about, do I matter? Think about this. Think about this. Those of you who have ever left a job, why did you leave the job? 9 times out of 10, I'm going to tell you why, right? Here it is. You left because you felt as if you did not matter. So you looked for another place, i.e. LinkedIn, wherever you are, right? You looked for another place in which you felt as if you could feel like you matter. You felt like you could be have value, but you could also add value to that place of business. That's why we're leaving. That's what we're looking for. We want to matter. Listen, I remember I had one phenomenal. I've had many, but there's one particular manager and leader that I had. His name is Bob. Bob, when I say he was one of the best managers and leaders that I've ever had, and here's the thing, it had nothing to do with the amount of money that I made. It had everything to do with Bob making me feel valued and making me feel as if the things that I do, they added value to the team, right? And when that happened and when that went down, I was like, yo, there's nothing that I would not do for Bob, right? Because Bob wasn't just a boss, he was also a friend. He wasn't just a boss, he was somebody who saw value and saw something in me. And honestly, he was able to pull something out of me that I didn't even know was there. Listen, many of you know, for a long time, I traveled the country doing leadership development, doing people development. I would leave on Mondays, come home on Thursdays or Fridays, right? That was my life for about 18 years, right? Leave on Mondays, come back on Fridays every single week. It was the same old, same old. And let me just be honest with y'all. Leaving would get old. There were times when I did not want to leave. I didn't want to go on the road. I didn't want to travel. I just wanted to stay at home with my family. I wanted to stay at home with people who were most important to me. I didn't feel like getting up and going to deal with the hustle and bustle of getting on the road. Yeah, I didn't. But I did. Why? Listen, I remember there was this one particular time I was supposed to be at home with my family, right? And you all know, I don't know about you all, but you know, when you get that off time, you value it, man. You value it. So I was supposed to be at home with my family, and there was another facilitator who was going out to do some work. I believe we were going out somewhere LA area, right? Now, here's the thing. I was expecting to be at home, but I got a phone call, right? I got a phone call over the weekend. And the phone call went like this. Hey, listen, I know you're supposed to be at home this week. However, facilitator is sick and cannot go. Do you think you would be able to go to LA? Now, y'all, in my mind, I'm like, man, I don't want to go to no LA. I want to stay at home with my family. But check this out. Because my manager, Bob at that time, because my manager made me feel valued and made it seem as if I could add value to the team, right? I felt like I was a part of that team, right? I felt like that it was bigger than me. It was bigger than me. So although I didn't in my body want to go, my answer was yes. And is there anything else you need? Because I was a part of something bigger than myself, right? I felt like I mattered. And on that weekend, I scheduled my flight, got the hotel, and on Monday morning, I was at the airport bright and early, ready to go out west. Not because I wanted to, but because I felt like I mattered. Because I felt like I could add value to something bigger than myself. And that, my friends, is why I stayed. And let me tell you something. That's why the people that you're working with right now, they are staying if you can make them feel like they matter. So let's take a 20-second time out, because you know that's what we do here on the Fresh Take Podcast. 20-second time out. Let me ask you a question. What are you doing right now to make the people that are around you feel like they matter? What are you doing to make your team feel like they matter? What are you doing to make your spouse feel like they matter? What are you doing to make your children feel like they matter? What are you doing to make your colleagues feel like they matter? What are you doing to make the students feel like they matter? I really want you to take a 20-second time out. I want you to pause, and I want you to ask yourself the question, what could I do today to make the people who matter to me, right? Who we say matter to us. What can I do today to make them feel like they matter? And I'm going to tell you, I don't need you to do anything big. I simply want you to go up to somebody today and I want you to tell them this. Listen, the job that you're doing is amazing, and I truly do appreciate what you are doing. And I don't know if anybody has told you this before, but listen, it matters to me, and you bring value to our team and organization. So thank you for what you do. It really means a whole lot. That's it. Shake their hand and walk away. That simple statement, and you can remix it however you want to remix it, but that simple statement right there, that can change things for people, because you never know. There might be people right now who are in the process of quietly quitting. There's a whole lot of that going on. There might be people quietly quitting right now. And the reason that they're quietly quitting is because they feel like they don't matter. So today, Fresh Take Podcast, look, make people matter. Period. Make sure that people matter, because when you do that, you can change the game. So that's all I got for you today, man. I hope this was of value for you today. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it made sense for you. And we'll be back next Monday. Fresh take, man. We're giving fresh takes on leadership. Listen, if you don't know who I am, my name is Philip Edge, and I am on a quest to make 100,000 people matter and feel matter. That's it. If you've never seen me, go check out my website, www.thephilissedge.com. Go check us out, and I'll see you all next week. Fresh Take Podcast. Well, holla, y'all. Be easy. Peace.